This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
The show, of course, that we're building towards, Vengeance 2001, takes place in San Diego, Kurt. Any San Diego memories? Anything stick out about all your visits to San Diego over the years?
No, I just remember Ray would bring a bunch of people, Ray Mysterio, because that was his hometown. A bunch of people would come to the arena to see the show. And, Ray is such a good kid. We would meet all of them and, just be cordial to them. But San Diego was Ray Mysterio's hometown. That's all I can remember about it.
So, of course, this show happens on December 9th, and I believe that was your 32nd birthday. What does a guy do on his birthday when he's also working a pay-per-view match against Steve Austin?
Well, you're hopefully going to win the tournament on your birthday. Unfortunately, I didn't. So it kind of sucked that, I had a shitty birthday.
I mean, is there a chance for you to do anything? I mean, do you bring anybody along with you? Do you get together with friends or family before or after, or, hey, I'll just see y'all.
I celebrated my birthday the week before with my family. So that was something that we had to do because I knew I was going to be gone on my birthday.
Let me ask, you sort of joked about, well, it would have been better if I would have won. Do you find out the creative the day of the show, or did you have a good idea before you got to San Diego? Well, I'm not winning.
Well, the first thing was, the week before the pay-per-view, I was still supposed to be undisputed champion. Vince McMahon had me picked as the undisputed champion. He wanted me to win the two titles. And Vince came to me the week prior to the pay-per-view and said, listen, is it okay with you if I give it to Jericho? Because I want to start pushing Jericho, and I think this would be great for him. And I said, no, Vince, you should do that. I think Jericho needs it, and this is a great opportunity for him. But so I was supposed to win the Undisputed Championship, but Vince McMahon changed it at the last second and gave it to Jericho.
Those stories are fascinating to me, just about who, what, when, where, why, all of that. In hindsight, I think everybody would look at that, or even back then, and think, well, this is going to be Kurt Angle's night. I mean, certainly you could go with Austin or The Rock, but they're in another stratosphere, and everything had really gone your way up until this point. I mean, you'd been King of the Ring, you'd been European champion, you'd been Intercontinental champion, you'd won the world title. Then you had the whole 9/11 thing, and there were so many great moments. It just felt like here's another accolade that can pile on this incredible run you've had. And instead they pivot to Jericho. Did you get to talk to Jericho before the show or after the show or anything like that about his big win?
No, I didn't discuss it with Jericho, but I completely understood. I mean, when you're winning all these accolades, sometimes it can get to be too much.
Yeah.
And they be only focused on you and not the other talent. And I think you need to spread it out a little bit so that you create bigger stars and more bigger stars. And so if I would have won the Undisputed Championship, I'm sure Chris Jericho would have ended up being world champ eventually, but it wouldn't have been his time yet. And he would have had to sit and wait a little bit longer. So I was totally for Chris winning the world title, the Undisputed Championship, because he needed it at that time.
During this show, both yourself and Jericho would confront Ric Flair about never being an undisputed champion himself. When you see that, and maybe some of the other interactions you've had since Ric's been here, did you think you would eventually be in the ring working against Flair? Because I know that Flair was brought back with the guys that he'll never wrestle. He's just going to be an on-screen character. And of course, we know that lasts 2 months. And then by January, he's wrestling Vince at the Royal Rumble. But did you think, hey, maybe there's something there? Maybe I will wrestle Ric here.
Knowing he came back, I knew there was a possibility. So I didn't doubt that he wouldn't be able to wrestle. I knew that he could still wrestle. I just didn't know that he elected not to just be a manager or do whatever on TV, cut promos. But I'm glad he wrestled because I wanted to wrestle Ric Flair. I believe he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I would say greatest overall sports entertainer of all time. His promo skills, pre-tapes, matches, they were all very, very, incredible. And Ric Flair, I would put him in the top 3 greatest of all time because he deserves it. And I wanted to wrestle him. And I was very positive about possibly getting to wrestle him down the road, and I did eventually.
So when you say top 3 greatest of all time, I know you're not counting yourself. So who would the other 2 guys be? In your mind, it's Ric Flair, maybe Shawn Michaels. Who's the 3rd spot?
Gosh, that's tough. You know what? It's wide open, but I would say Undertaker, Rock, or Austin.
Well, there you go.
But it's a tie between the.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.